Hi, good evening, everyone. Good morning and good afternoon, wherever you are watching from. And welcome to the second session of Breaking Barriers, Chapter 2. And before we introduce the guest, why breaking barriers? I think essentially we all focus on our strengths, but if you have to realize your full potential and hit the long run, I think you need to work on your limitations as well. And this series, we are trying to have global thought leaders come and present how they have overcome their barriers that they have faced over a period of time, and how we can take you from them and use their experience and expertise to help ourselves. And to join us today, we have Gautam Ganglani. And Gautam, welcome to the session. It's great to have you here on Breaking Barriers, Chapter 2.
An absolute pleasure, Nivarti. Thank you very much for your warm hospitality and kind invitation to be on your Breaking Barriers Chapter 2. Thank you.
I'm pretty sure everybody and most of us know Gautam, but nevertheless, for few people who probably don't know, which could be an exception, Gautam was born in London and completed his education in UK, and he has over 20 years of experience as an entrepreneur, as a part of a father and son team working, and he is the CEO of Right Selection Speakers, which is a global forum, and he has built a great network with all the global thought leaders, from take the names and you have the network with them, and it would be great to hear how you could accomplish all that in today's session, Gautam. I'm really curious and very much looking forward to our discussion.
My pleasure, Nivarti. Thank you once again.
And you have done so much, means you are already a CEO of an organization. You have developed such great relationships with global thought leaders, and you are bringing them across to India, Dubai, and many other countries, so that they can come and share knowledge, and you can probably expand the field of expertise across these countries. So and you have written a book as well, Breaking Bread, and that's quite doing well in the market as well. So all this, how could you accomplish everything that you have in probably, and you look so young, of course, so in such short span of time.
Thank you very much, Nivarti. You're very kind. What can I say? To me, there are many reasons for it, but one book that I read is called The Fish Philosophy, and it says, "Work made fun gets done." And I absolutely am in love with the business that we're in. I say it's a business of transformation, be it personal or business. And when you love what you do, you're super excited each and every day to make a difference in people's lives, to add value, to help people solve problems, and make a difference. And when you do all of this, by default, you are a magnet for attracting like-minded, like-hearted people into your life. That's both personally and professionally. So to me, I would really say the foundation of success, and success always has different definitions. I don't look at success as financial success. Obviously, money is something which is important to each one of us. All of us have a lifestyle, a standard of living that we'd like to upkeep. But real success is when you have happiness and inner fulfillment. And happiness and inner fulfillment comes from making sure you're spending time with people, personally and professionally, that uplift you, encourage you, inspire you, and make you feel good about life, no matter what you're going through. Because as you and I know, challenges and change is constant in life. We all have challenges and we all are surrounded by change, whether it's in our childhood, whether it's changing countries. For me, I was born and brought up in the UK. So 20 years in the UK, then 20 years in Dubai, and then recently moved to India. I mean, I'm living in three different continents, but I take that in my stride and embrace the change that I've gone through and say, okay, what can I learn from this experience and how can I continuously add value each and every day? So I think it's this philosophy of work made fun gets done is really what has helped me to be in the positive space of mind.
Great. And I have kept that quote for now. I think going forward, work made fun gets done. And also you talked about real success comes when from happiness and fulfillment. And those two are, great philosophies to drive your life on, right? So that's a great way to start the discussion itself, Gautam. And I've seen and I've heard you talking about your childhood experiences and what it has done to you. I know it's not something very welcome to look back on, but I think it would be great for people to know, what you have gone through and what those experiences did to you, at that point of time, and what barriers they did create for you.
Sure, Nivarti. To me, the most successful leaders are comfortable being vulnerable and always like being authentic. So, for me to share this childhood story, whilst it was very painful at that time, today when I look back, it was a great learning experience which helped me transform me to be the best version of myself that I look at I am today. So, as I shared earlier, I was born and brought up in London, UK. So, at the age of 13, in the school I went to, I was surrounded by a lot of British friends um, and a few other nationalities, but predominantly British friends. And uh, I was teased, I was humiliated, I was bullied, I was made fun of. So that was a very difficult experience that I went through at the young age of 13. My self-esteem was all-time low. My confidence was, below average. I had very few friends. I appeared like an introvert, which for those who know me today is far from the truth. And my confidence level was down. So therefore, I also had very few friends. So my whole outlook was quite, let's say, negative and discouraging. And my grades below average. I went to my dad and I said, Papa, nothing makes any sense. I have no direction, no purpose, and I'm just confused. Please help me. And he said, before I help you with the advice I'm going to give you, I'd like you to understand that change and challenges, which I shared earlier on this conversation, are constant. They're a part of your life, no matter what level of success. You could be a millionaire, you could be an entrepreneur, you could be a working professional, you could be unemployed. Whatever position you are in this world, you will face challenges and change. So, first is accept that as a part of life. I said, okay. He said, so this challenge you're going through now, I'm going to give you three pieces of advice. And these three pieces of advice are going to help you now, and they're going to help you for the rest of your life. Are you ready? I said, yes. He said, firstly, surround yourself with the right people. Secondly, continuously learn. And third, and most importantly, is take action. When you apply these three principles, you're guaranteed to learn and have breakthroughs in your life. And he talked about surrounding yourself with the right people. As I said, people who encourage you, uplift you. I was fortunate enough to change schools a year later, and suddenly my group of people that I was surrounding myself were uplifting, encouraging, fun, and my learning automatically improved because I was in a good state of mind, and you took action, and my grades and results progressed. I had a lot of friends who are still my friends till today, and my whole outlook on life was completely different from that very day. Challenges and changes continue throughout our lives, be it 2009, 8 and 9, and again, COVID 2020. COVID 2020, everyone was, in a time of stress, anxiety, uncertainty. And I immediately said, I can accept what I cannot change. And immediately said, okay, what can I do about it? So who do I need to connect with? What do I need to learn? And what action do I need to take? Were the questions I asked myself last year, March. And immediately it was one of the most productive years. Financially, not a success, but from learning, from transformation, from peace of mind. I think it was an absolutely fantastic year where we became stronger as human beings by applying these three principles. So that was the story of my childhood, but I apply those three principles each and every day and anytime I come across any challenge.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. I think, comfortable being vulnerable and being authentic, the great traits of being a true leader, and also surrounding yourself with right people and doing things consistently. I think that's again, it's a great thought, great advice to have, and probably at that point of time, it's life changing for you as well, right? So, absolutely brilliant. And from there on to come and do what you have done, from that point, really, what actions did you take, and how did you motivate yourself to, be in a place you are today, where you can, definitely boast of being in the company of all the great thought leaders across the globe.
Well, I must thank my dad for that because my dream was always to be part of a father and son family business. So when I graduated in '95, I joined my dad from UK into Dubai, and at that time we had what we have as a business bookstore, books which are self-help business transformation. And I joined my dad, and he said to me, be with me for 6 months and see the experience of your journey in the business, and if it resonates with you and you're happy, then you can continue. So when I joined the business in June 1995, that's when I was, the business was with the bookstore, and the kind of people we met were just so inspiring because we were doing very niche books. As I said, Dale Carnegie, Norman Vincent Peale, Stephen Covey, Deepak Chopra, Robin Sharma, these kind of books. So the kind of people who buy books which inspire people are a certain kind of people. Those
Yeah.
people are people who realize that learning is a lifetime journey. They realize that we must about being abundant, about being collaborative. Their hunger to learn means they have a mindset which is very supportive, helpful, and that is what attracted me to the business. And I just joined, and we were just a bookstore. I then kept asking my dad, "Is like, what new can we do?" And that's when, from the bookshop, we started displaying books at the events that were taking place. So authors like Tom Peters, Philip Kotler, Stephen Covey, a lot of these big authors were coming through conference organizers, and we were just the bookstore.
Hmm.
So we were the bookstore for a good 10 years. And then around year 2000, my dad and me, who were very close, and we used to go for walks regularly, and he said, okay, what new value can we bring the marketplace? How can we evolve our business? And we said, how about we bring the authors of the best-selling books for live events? And that's how the books business evolved into an events company. Because we said, okay, let's bring the authors of the books. People ask, how do you select your authors? How do you select your speakers? The books that are doing well means that those books are popular, which means that the audience resonates with the content of the book, and
Hmm.
they see that speaker like a guru, like a teacher. So if you appreciate Deepak Chopra, and I tell you Deepak Chopra is going to come for a live event, then your interest is excitement to meet him in person, have a
Absolutely.
photograph with him, sign a book. It's very much like people ask me, it's like the concerts business. At the end of it, you have an emotional connect with the music of a particular artist. You have an emotional connect with the learning that's provided in a book. And if that helps you, you become from a fan to a raving fan because your life is improved. If your life improves, you want to be thankful, and there's a universal energy exchange between you and that person.
Hmm.
So the books business started from books, which went to the event side, and then we started bringing the events, and then from events it went to conferences, and then engagements. And I guess we've always had a business of bringing the speakers again and again to different parts of the world, and therefore you met the speakers over many times, and that's where the breaking bread philosophy of my book has been applied. We've never had a sales team in our business.
Hmm.
And to answer your question, if I had to answer it in one sentence, you say, Gautam, how have you become so close to these speakers where they're your friends? And the reason is I've broken bread with them many times. I have made it a point. Most speaking and speakers travel, land at the airport, stay in the hotel, speak, and fly back.
Yeah.
I make sure I have breakfast, lunch, dinner. I make sure my speakers have met my family. Once they've met your family and you've had a meal with them, that's your most personal space. Your family and having a home cooked meal is a very personal space. Now, when a speaker has the pleasure of that, all the barriers, you talk of breaking barriers, all the barriers that exist, the formal barriers between a customer and a supplier, between a event company and a speaker, there are barriers of formal. This is a contract, this is an invoice. You remove the barriers because you're having a meal together. Now, who do you have a meal with? You have a meal with your friend, you have a meal with your family, and there's an energy exchange because when you have that food on the table and home cooked food, it's priceless. It's made from your home, and they feel they're like extended family, and by default you suddenly become very close to them, and you build a very good rapport. So to me, the secret is to building meaningful relationships with people who matter in your life is having a meal with them, which is breaking bread. The foundation, which is families that eat together stay together.
Awesome. And that's a great, again, one of the great philosophies that you have brought forward as well. And Breaking Bread, again, that's the book you have published. So, curious to know, is it based on your experiences of breaking bread with all these authors and what you have learned from those? Is that what is coming through from that book?
Yeah, so for me in the book, it's a very simple read, like Fish Philosophy, Who Moved My Cheese. I wanted to keep the book a very easy, light read of 100 pages and filled 50% with true stories. So there are 5 secrets to breaking bread, and every secret I've shared 2 or 3 stories, which are true stories from my life, which have helped me to break bread. So whether it's breaking bread strategically, whether it's breaking bread with your customers, whether it's breaking bread online virtually. People said breaking bread is a meal. I know breaking bread is not just about a meal. Breaking bread is basically a positive energy exchange between 2 or more people. I mean, I'll give you a classic example from the book, and I love giving examples because people can relate to examples. Where today, in this world of digital technology, it's your biggest strength and your biggest weakness. When someone wishes today, they'll type on Facebook, "Happy birthday, Gautam." Someone will send a WhatsApp, "Happy birthday, Gautam." And they said, "I wished you." 80%, maybe 90% of people will wish exactly like that.
Yeah,
I have 2 people who send me a postcard till today. Even if I don't meet them, I can never ever get these 2 people out of my mind. Why? A postcard is a form of breaking bread. They've done something unique. They have written a handwritten note, taken the time to post it, and send it across the world to reach me. I can't forget them.
absolutely.
3 or 4 other friends, they sent a video. "Hi Gautam, wanted to wish you a very happy birthday. Have an absolute awesome year ahead. Best wishes always, David." I can't forget it. He's done a video. So a WhatsApp. When I do messages, I'll do a WhatsApp. They'll be like, "Hi Gautam, this is Nivarti here from India. Looking forward to seeing you when we next meet on your next visit. In the meantime, wanted to wish you a very happy birthday. All the very best." So you've used voice, you've used video, you sent a postcard. This is a form of breaking bread because you have done something beyond basic happy birthday. That's
Absolutely.
everyone else. When you go to your Facebook wall, you'll see 500 messages of happy birthday. But the 5 people who posted a memorable picture, that's the difference. So breaking bread is going beyond the basic communication. So that's an example of WhatsApps or Facebooks and Zoom calls. So that's an example, yeah.
Yeah, and what I get is, how you can personalize the professional relationship that you start with, right? And that's what you are getting into so deeply when you talk about creating that experience in people's mind than just keeping it more formal. How can
Yeah,
you
yeah,
find those, unique ways of creating that special or uniqueness in somebody's mind, that yes, this person is treating me something differently, uniquely, and specially. That
yeah,
means you have a special place in their heart, and automatically
absolutely.
you tend to then create that space for them also, right? So
Yeah, I'll give you another very quick example, very recent. So Marshall Goldsmith's PA office manager has a dog. The dog's name is Sevilla. So when I was calling her, which I frequently check with for work, once I asked her, "All okay?" And she goes, "Oh, I'm a little down today." I said, "What happened?" She said, "Actually, my dog got hit by a car, and but is under surgery." I said, "Well, my prayers and blessings are with you to have your full recovery of your dog. What's your dog's name?" And she said, Sevilla. I said, Sevilla, like the country Sevilla. She said, yes, that's in fact where I was from. I said, okay. I said, oh, that's where my sister-in-law is from, Sevilla as well. So you found a connect. And that was it. Then we talked business. Then a week later, I'm sending a mail and I write to her. I said, dear Katie, first and foremost, how's Sevilla? I pray that Sevilla is getting stronger day by day. Then I talked business. I mean, she was saying, nobody asked me that. Even some friends haven't asked me how Sevilla is. I am so touched. Gautam, thank you so much. A month has passed by now, and I said, I trust Sevilla is back to her strongest, best, and playing and full of energy. Please do send me. She sent me a picture, and that has nothing to do with work. But
Absolutely.
she will say, of all the people in the world, I deal with 30 people for Marshall who work with him. Gautam, I can never forget you even if I tried. And what did I do? I took an interest in her personal sharing of her dog. Her dog, she has an emotional connect. I shared my genuine interest on how is her dog doing, and there it was. I'm just giving a quick example, a real example of this last week, and that's the example.
Yeah, absolutely. And going back to what you said, the three advices your father gave, I think you are living by those even till today. Because I
Day in
remember,
out day.
yeah, because I remember that you talked about being consistent, right? Being consistent with what you do. And you're not doing it for the sake of business. You are doing it with more authenticity, that you talked about, which is very much needed, because otherwise I think it will be quite visible if you are doing it for the sake of doing it. Then you don't have that level of emotional connect which is required to actually move from being professionally connected to someone to being personally connected, and how you transfer that relationship. There is a tipping point, I guess, at in this sort of movement, where you suddenly tip over from being a professional friend to being a personal friend.
Correct. 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 Absolutely.
Wonderful. And with your approach, and lot of people, including myself, we struggle to build these relationships, even though many times you want to do that, or you are really keen to do that, not for let's say professional growth or anything. You really connect with people, you are passionate about people, but there are certain barriers we all carry, and maybe in our minds itself. And that's why I started this as well, because I failed to connect mostly with people because of my own barriers. And then I thought this is a great forum to try and expand those and try to see how I can reach out to various people. And we connected just as on Breaking Bread virtually, if you remember, right, on
Correct.
some days. So what it would be your advice to people watching this live, to say what they can do differently to probably talk to somebody who is completely unknown, and probably then get into the kind of relationships you develop.
Yeah, it's easier said than done if it doesn't come naturally, and either you're an introvert or you're shy or you're reserved, But I would say it's all everything starts step by step. So, first and foremost, just as a pretext to that question, what I'd like to say is that we spend 70% of our lives at work. The average person works 9 to 5 and maybe longer. Sometimes we work weekends. So, first and foremost, is we must love what we do, and which I shared earlier.
Yeah.
But to me, this is where I say that, if we spend more than half our lives at work, we must love what we do. We must be passionate. And how would you treat a friend? How would you treat a family member who you love and you care for? Now, that's the kind of mindset that you need to have at the workplace. Yes, there's a fine line that you'll have a professional line. But what we're saying really is about just adding value, being friendly, sharing appreciation and gratitude. So these are the behaviors that you have. So I would just say is that start step by step and just think of how can I be helpful? How can I show more gratitude? How can I add value in some way to someone who's a work colleague? So you could start with your colleagues at work. You could start with when you go for an event. Typically, when people go for an event, if I call a learning event, they go for the event, they sit in a chair, They go for coffee, come down, sit for lunch. And if you ask the average person, they go to an event, they said, yeah, great speaker. I said, okay, and what else? Oh, we had lunch, I had my coffee, I had my beverages, all good. I said, did you meet anyone? No, no, I went for the event. I said, how many people were there? They said, 200 people. I said, there were 200 people, and you went to a hotel, and you virtually, most people will say, I either sat next to someone I know, or I just met the speaker, made my notes, and had good food, and I went home. I said, you missed out on the biggest opportunity of your life. That room, you have something common with everyone. Doesn't matter who they are, male, female, what nationality, what age. All of them are there for a common purpose to learn from that speaker or learn from that event. Sit with different people at a table. Don't sit with people you know, and come up with some nice, easy, open-ended questions. Say, do you attend events like this regularly? What are you looking forward to from today? Simple questions. Just ask questions and listen. That's a form of breaking bread. And the idea of starting is to start with two, three easy questions that you practice, and ask people who you're not so familiar with. So you start building the confidence to speak to people who you don't know, but in a context of a common ground, which is in that sense an event. If you're attending an event by a certain speaker, even if you don't know everybody in the room, you know everyone's there has come to learn from Marshall Goldsmith or Ron Kaufman or Stephen Covey. So there's a common place to say, oh, have you read his books? Oh, have what made you come for this event? What's your thoughts on this event? What's your experience? Just ask two, three open-ended questions. The people will share. All you do is attentively listen, be present, and immediately they're like, wow, really nice person. Would you like to have lunch break together? You At least you build your professional friendships in that manner. So I think it's just a bit of a conscientious effort, and that's what I would say. Yeah.
And it's great to see all the great quotes that you're talking about, and lots of learnings for us to take away. And for those who joined as well, I see a lot of friends here, whether it is Bindu or Nilanshi or Rodana. It's great to have you on the forum, Gautam. Again, lots of learnings to take away. So if someone comes to you for help, for example, to say, okay, Gautam, how can you probably coach me, mentor me, or help me on to build those sort of relationships? What would you offer? I'm putting you on spot here, but
No, it's good. I mean, maybe it's something. I mean, people have been actually asking me informally, Gautam, can you coach me? Now, I may not be a coach in the certified manner, but I'm more than happy to mentor people. So, first and foremost, I would say is obviously get a copy of my book, because you get a chance to really learn more about me, my journey, my struggles, my challenges, and at the same time, I have real practical suggestions in the book, because to me, practice definitely is what makes you perfect. And to me, I like to give examples which you can action. I always believe in what I call actionable ideas. I don't like knowledge which are all conceptual and theoretical. So when you read my book, you can actually have an action plan of doing 5 things. And if you do those 5 things, it will bring you results. So that would be the step one. If there was an interest to be coached or mentored or to collaborate, it would be my pleasure to explore that. You can connect with me on LinkedIn and send me a message, and it'll be a pleasure to explain more.
yeah, great. I think it's wonderful to have this discussion with you, Gautam, and you sharing the thoughts and also the lessons that you have from your father and your journey as well over the period that you have gone through. And it's wonderful, and lots of takeaways from today's session, especially great quotes to live life on and follow through your life. For everybody's benefit, I think few people are asking whether we will get your quotes. Probably you can publish a book on your quotes itself. But for those who have joined live, I will definitely publish on LinkedIn whatever quotes I could capture from Gautam. And definitely, I'm sure Gautam can add on a bit more when that is published, in terms of few more quotes, famous quotes that he lives by and he loves. Wonderful to have you, Gautam, on this session, and thanks a lot for joining us and sharing your wisdom and your experience of life. And I wish you all the best and great success again going forward, and hope your breaking bread continues with most people, and bring in more leaders and thought leaders into limelight and into our lives as well.
Thank you very much, Nivarti, for the opportunity to spend time with you today. I like to sort of summarize, if I may, just as a reinforcement message, is that in life is very short. We have no awareness of tomorrow, so make the most of today. And what I'd encourage you is, realization and acceptance is accepting things that you cannot change. And as I said, my dad said, changes and challenges are constant. They are going to be a part of everyone's life. Don't ever assume or think that other people don't have challenges and change. Every one of us is filled with challenges, and change is constant. So please first apply those three principles. Surround yourself with the right people, people who uplift you, encourage you, inspire you, make you feel good about yourself. Second, continuously learn. Learning is a lifetime journey. Learn from books, learn from audios, learn from videos, learn from podcasts, learn from LinkedIn Live, learn from people. And third and most important is take action. When you take action, you will either learn or you will progress. You will learn or you will progress. So please apply these three principles in your life. My best wishes for your future, personally and professionally. Thank you once again, Nivarti, to spend time with you today.
Thanks, Gautam. And Rajesh, yeah, I couldn't see your name. It was coming in as LinkedIn user. So thanks for joining us live, everyone. Great insights from Gautam. We look forward to having you sometime again, Gautam. Thank you for your time and being here.
My absolute pleasure. Thank you, Nivarti.
Thank you. Bye.